Welcome to part 19 of the ongoing AS and A-Level Java series, and in this tutorial we're going to be looking at arrays. So arrays are a group, or rather an array is a group of like-typed variables that are referenced by a common name. So that's one way to look at an array. A data structure of the same type that's going to have a collection of elements within it. So let's actually start by looking at how to declare an array, and let's declare an array of string, of type string, that is the base type, and let's call this one maybe let's call it weekdays, right? Then what we need to do if we are declaring arrays is that we need to make use of the new keyword and followed by the base type again, then by the number of elements that we want to be contained within that particular array. So this is the syntax for declaring an array. We are going to have the base type, right, followed by parentheses, then the identifier for the array, which is weekdays, and we make use of the new keyword. I think we will look at more about this new keyword as we progress with the series, but for now just know that the new keyword, we use it to instantiate objects, and we are creating an array object because arrays basically they are objects, right? So we create a new array of strings, and it's going to have seven elements within it. Actually, let's make that 5 because we only have 5 weekdays, then 2 weekends, is it? So 5. Then in order for us to actually assign a value to the weekdays, what we can do is we can make use of the index. So an array, you can think of it as a collection of items, right, of the same type. So maybe in this case we have Monday up to Friday, which are the elements. Then in order for me to access a particular element, I need to make use of the reference or the index for that particular element. So if you wanted to assign a value of Monday to the first element in weekdays, we would make use of the index position, which is 0, right? It's important to notice that in programming we start counting from 0. So 0 is going to be the first position, and we want to set the value of Monday, right? Then I'm just going to go ahead and system.out.println, and I'm going to print weekdays element that is at position 0. That is the very first element. So let me just go ahead and run that code and see what we get down there in the console. So as you'd expect, we get the word Monday printed down there in the console. So that's how you can declare and assign individual elements for your arrays, right? So if I wanted to assign values for, maybe let me assign up to maybe say Wednesday, I would go about it like so. So I would have 1, then 2, right? Or maybe let me just assign for all the days really. So we have Tuesday, then we have Wednesday, then let's also copy, let's just paste. So we have Thursday, then we also have, I already have day going on there. So this is 2, this is 3, this is 4, and this would be Friday. Then I'm just gonna system.out all those elements. So we have 4, we have 3, we have 2, then we have 1, right? So let me just go ahead and run that code, and we should get Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I didn't Monday, Tuesday, I didn't put Wednesday here. Wednesday, I thought I did. So we're going to get Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, then Friday down there in the console, as you'd expect. So that's how you can declare an array, and so that's the declaration. Then right here we have the initialization, right? So that's how you go about it, and then we're just outputting the values for that particular array. So notice that we make use of the index position to actually access a particular element within the array. The index indicates the position for that particular element within the array. Then we can also do something that is called declaration and initialization in one go. So the way we go about it is we make use of the array declaration the array declaration format, that is string then followed by box brackets. Then we want to have weekends this time around. So instead of making use of the new keyword, right, we just put curly braces. Then within the curly braces, we can then assign the individual elements that we want to be contained within that particular array. I think you might have seen this notation in the previous tutorials. I think there was a tutorial on the enhanced for loop, I think, right? And as well as the continue statement. In that particular episode, I think we did look at this format for declaring and initializing an array. So, but anyway, for this particular tutorial, we just want to declare an array called weekends, and we just want to assign two values within weekends. So you realize that you have two ways of going about it when you want to declare an array. You can use the declaration then initialization way, or you can use the declaration and initialization way, which basically just does it all in one go. Then it's also important to notice that you can declare even an array of integers, like for instance, let's say month days, right? I could do that. Then I could have 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, right? Maybe I'm just go up to 8, so I can do that as well. Then you can basically you can declare an array of anything. It can be an array of strings, integers, booleans. You can even have an array of objects, right? That is, you create your own classes, then you can actually instantiate objects that you can store inside of an array. You can actually do that. So an array is going to contain pretty much anything really that you want to store is under the same data type. Then in order for us to iterate through an array, this is just a recap of the previous from the previous, I think, maybe episodes where we looked at the enhanced for loop. So we are going to have int, then we say number, which is going to be the temporary identifier for the current element, then month, days. Then we can simply system.out.println, and we simply print out number there, and that's going to work. And we can just go ahead and run the code, and you realize that initially we first get our weekdays, then we'll get numbers 1 2 up to 8, right? So that's just about it for the basics of arrays. So one thing that I also need to point out is that the arrays that we looked at in this episode, they are basically one-dimensional arrays, right? So you can actually have something called a two-dimensional array, and those particular kinds of array, we are going to look at them, I think maybe in episode 54, when you look at multi-dimensional arrays, because I realized that for completeness we should also look at that particular kind of array, because I've seen questions whereby you are required to make use of 2D arrays. So these ones are just basically one-dimensional arrays, and yeah, so that's how you can go about initializing and declaring them. I think that's it for this tutorial. I'll see you in the next one.